Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about directed numbers as part of Number and Indices. So what are directed numbers? Well, in the real world, many numbers that we use have both direction as well as size, or weight sometimes we call it. And we often use the plus symbol or positive and the negative symbol to show this. And when I go through a few examples, it'll make sense. If I say something interesting or important, make sure you pause the video and write it down. And write down all the examples so you can look back on them. The aim of this video is so that you'll be able to identify the direction of a number and be able to graph that on a number line. So let's go through a few examples. So example 1 to 4 says, use a directed number to represent the following. So the first one is 30 degrees above 0. So how are we going to show 30 degrees above 0 as a directed number? Well, that's simple. It's going to be plus 30 degrees. It's not going to be minus because that will be below. It's above 30. The next one is $42 deposit. Well, we know a deposit is when we add money into our account. So it'll be plus $42. The next one says loss of $16. So loss, is that a plus or a minus? Well, a loss is a minus 16. And 3 floors below means it's minus as well. So minus 3 floors. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it. Let's look at some words that represent positive and some words that represent negative. So some words for positive may be add. For example, add 3 cups of water. Profit, I made a profit of $100. Above, 3 floors above. Rise, there was a rise in the temperature of 16 degrees. North, she traveled 16 degrees north. Deposit, I deposited $15 into the account. Right, so if your number line is right and left, we'll move 5 hops right, plus 5. Higher, so the money went higher. Increased, the temperature increased by 16 degrees. Let's go through some words that are negative. For example, below, left, withdrawal, south, loss, and decrease. These are just some of the words. They're just some examples. There's many words that we can use. Now, the next part of directed numbers is to graph the following on a number line. So to graph these numbers on this number line. So let's get another colored pen and say the first number it wants is -3. Well, -3 is going to go there. The next number it wants is on top of 2. So 2 is that side of 0. And then he wants another one on 0. And the last one he wants is on 3. Not very hard, is it? Let's go through example 6 to 8. Example 6 to 8 says, order the following from smallest to largest. And we call this ascending. As you can see in the note below, ascending means smallest to largest, while its opposite is descending, largest to smallest. So let's pick out what is the smallest number in example 6. Well, the smallest number there is -4. Cross that off that I've done that. Then -2. Then 0. Then we have 1, 3, and 6. So you'll see the smallest number is a negative number. And it's quite like the opposite. The higher we get in the negative numbers, the smaller they are. For example, -100 is smaller than -1. And you can see that there on the number line as well. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is a little bit trickier because now we're dealing with decimals as well as integers. An integer, as you can see in the note, is a whole number, and that's a term that you need to know. So The smallest number out of all the numbers there is negative 0.2. After negative 0.2, the next smallest number is 0.1. Then 0.6, and then 3. Now let's make it a little bit trickier. Let's look at example 8. Now example 8 has lots of decimals, but they're all in the threes, the negative threes. So let's see, which one of these is the smallest? Is negative 3.0 smaller or is negative 3.6 smaller? Well, as we said, as the numbers go higher in the negatives, the smaller they are. So negative 3.6 is the smallest, then negative 3.2, then negative 3.1, and the largest number there is negative 3.0 or negative 3. Hopefully that makes sense to you and you understand how directed numbers work on a number line as well as arranging them from smallest to largest. Now a few questions here for you to do. Pause the video, go through the questions and unpause them to go through the recommended answers. Okay, well, you should have got that right, and you should have a good indication of identifying the direction of a negative or a positive number in directed numbers and its weight. And you should also be able to graph them by now. Hopefully you got them all right. If you didn't, go back and watch the video again. Till next time, guys, take care.